The Information Superhighway. That ultra-fast, reliable network that allows Australians to explore cyberspace. The ever-expanding universe of infinite possibilities. It's a pity that not everyone has the same access. Like Bob here. This is just one of the reasons behind the creation of the NBN, aka the National Broadband Network. You may have heard about it. So what is the NBN? It's Australia's answer to a genuine information superhighway. It's a fast, stable, world-class network that will interconnect the vast majority of Australian homes and businesses to an entirely new digital experience. Let's get one thing straight. This is not just about faster internet. It's so much more than that. The NBN is the foundation on which we will build an entirely new way of life. To understand the capabilities of the NBN, let's first look at where we are now. Australia's current network is a patchwork quilt of technologies that don't talk to each other very well. There's limited availability and it's under increasing demand, which means that we're not preparing ourselves for the future. Think of our networks like a road system. The evolution of our roads and motorised transport opened up new possibilities people had never even dreamed of. All sorts of businesses and applications depend on a reliable road transport system because they were born out of it. And most we now take for granted. It's exactly the same with the NBN. It's a piece of infrastructure that will encourage new ways of doing things, faster, more often, and in more places. New applications will pop up all the time. And how do you optimise such a venture so that it's relatively future-proof? By using a technology called fibre to the premises that will involve the rollout of over 200,000 k's of fibre optic cable, delivering a large amount of bandwidth right to your front door. FTTP ensures that the maximum amount of bandwidth is available to your household or business 24/7. Life-changing and economy-building services will originate from this unheralded and seamless connectivity. Like our friend Bob, who will be able to grow his business, even globally, all from his remote sheep station. And that makes Bob's family happy. The small minority unable to utilise FTTP will receive similar access from a mix of other technologies. So, why do we need a national broadband network? There are loads of advantages. Some we know, and some we're yet to discover. That's the beauty of it. We're only limited by our imagination. The big one is that the NBN is not just faster internet, it's a digital ecosystem. It's a network foundation upon which the Australian public can begin to build exciting new ways to communicate, new business models, new ways of living, working, and playing. The NBN is greener. It uses less energy across the board. People will make better use of teleconferencing tools, so that means fewer cars on the road, less planes in the air. Cloud computing will drastically reduce many businesses' carbon footprint. The tyranny of distance, so dominant in a continent of Australia's size, will finally be conquered once and for all. We'll have a network capable of delivering high-definition video, holographic technology, and 3D imagery from point to point at the speed of light. The NBN's goal is to make broadband access an essential service, a utility, just like running water or electricity, where regardless of demand, supply will always be met without any hiccups. Such a massive infrastructure project will no doubt take time, but it needs to be done right the first time. It will provide endless possibilities for Australians long into the 21st century. The National Broadband Network. Every Australian's right.
In this peaceful suburb of Sydney's west, life runs its course undisturbed.
Hello. How are you? Good. How's your day?
But trouble can never be too far. For Evgenia Lecki, it's at the click of a mouse.
They're blocked because they've got photos on there that are not nice to see.
It was Evgenia Lecki's choice to filter her internet access. But the Australian government wants to go further and make filtering mandatory for all. A move that triggered public outrage.
We've never seen anything like the avalanche that Stephen Conroy has generated. Let me show you. Stephen Conroy. That is half of them.
Behind the proposal is a secret blacklist maintained by Australia's internet regulator, ACMA. No one knows what's on it, not even the minister.
The whole purpose of the list is to stop access from people getting access to sites that include pro-rape sites, pro-incest sites, pro-child pornography sites and pro-incest sites. I mean, publishing the list would defeat the purpose of having the list.
Under the proposed plan, all sites on the list would have to be blocked by internet service providers across Australia.
I think any government that proposes a system like this needs to do so with their eyes open to the fact that the blacklist that they use is eventually going to be released into the public domain.
And the list did leak. On it were child porn, rape or bestiality sites, but also this: a pet care facility, a pro-euthanasia group and an American anti-abortion site. The proposed filter will be limited to the web and won't apply to peer-to-peer traffic or chat rooms, which now represent about 60% of the internet traffic. Critics also say the filter will be easy to bypass, but some believe it is still worth a try.
Australia has already determined as a community that free speech is not open slather, that there are boundaries which have been set in place. So doing that in the online world as well as the offline world is not a great jump.
It's a fundamental change in the interaction between government and citizen to give the government that kind of decision-making power.
Despite criticism, the government is now testing the filter. Results are expected mid-year.
The internet is a machine built to share information. It's been compared to a web, a superhighway, and a series of pipes. But really, the internet is so big and so awesome that these analogies fall flat. For the first time in human history, we can take any piece of information and move it at the speed of light from anywhere to anywhere. Well, almost anywhere. In many places around the world, governments are controlling what their people can and can't see online. Filters are just one of their tools. Filters are like virtual checkpoints. They scrutinize foreign internet traffic, searching for content that's been prohibited by the government. Information that governments don't like isn't allowed to cross the border. For example, France and Germany filter sites that deny the Holocaust. Syria filters YouTube, Facebook, Amazon, Hotmail, and pro-Kurdish sites. United Arab Emirates filters sites ending in Israel's country code, .il. Who's providing countries with filtering technology? US corporations. These include companies like Google and Microsoft. Some of the same brands we use to open the flow of information at home are shutting it down abroad. In China, Google submits results pre-approved by the government. Microsoft's Chinese blog service rejects the word democracy in blog titles. In 2005, the journalist Shi Tao was sentenced to 10 years in prison thanks to information that Yahoo's email service turned over to the Chinese authorities. Countries are blocking words such as sex, naked, nudity, ass, and Falun Gong. In Myanmar, the only legal internet is a small collection of state-approved sites, run and controlled by the government. Internet cafes capture screen grabs every 5 minutes, allowing authorities to observe what a user is browsing. In Cuba, all private internet access is banned. Accessing the internet from your home can lead to up to 5 years in prison. Counter-revolutionary activity? 20. Number of Cubans presently in jail for their online activities? 24. Afghanistan is one of the 10 poorest countries in the world. Only 1% of the population has access to the internet. In January 2008, the government sentenced journalist Syed Pervez Kambaksh to death for downloading and distributing a document defending women's rights. With 48 internet users in jail, China has more surfers in prison than any other country. It maintains the Great Firewall, a sophisticated set of filters that block words like Dalai Lama and Taiwanese independence. China even has its own virtual police team, Jingjing and Xiaoxia, who pop up twice an hour in cybercafes to remind users of correct web browsing habits. According to Reporters Without Borders, there were more than 2,600 websites, blogs, or forums shut down or blocked in 2007. 63 online journalists, internet users, and bloggers are imprisoned worldwide.